Hey there! I'm Teresa and welcome back to English Vibes TV, the place where your English learning journey becomes fun, real, and inspiring. Today, I'm sharing a story that is very close to my heart. My first trip to the US when I was 15 years old. I was going to Orlando, Florida, the land of Mickey Mouse, roller coasters, and terrifying English conversations. Yep, even though I'd been studying English since I was a kid, I was absolutely terrified of speaking it. But this story isn't just about Disney or fear. It's about growth, confidence, and one powerful lesson that changed the way I see English forever. Okay, picture this. 15-year-old me boarding a plane alone for the first time on my way to Orlando for a 15-day trip organized by a travel agency for teenagers. It was the ultimate dream. I thought, Orlando equals Disney. I imagined every street would be a fairy tale. And honestly, it kinda was. But here's the thing. I didn't go with friends. Everyone else had already formed little groups, and I had no idea who I'd be rooming with. Scary, right? But honestly, I was more worried about the one thing I couldn't avoid: speaking English. Back then, Disney only had 3 parks: Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios. Universal had just 1 park. But to me, it was enough to explode my imagination. We even went to a place called Medieval Times where you eat with your hands and watch knights battle on horses. I felt like I was inside a movie. But even with all this magic around me, there was something that kept following me like a shadow: my fear of speaking English. Let me be honest. I had been studying English for 9 years. I knew grammar, vocabulary, I could read entire books. But the second I had to speak, panic. Ordering food? I'd practice in my head 10 times before saying it. Asking for help? No, I'd rather get lost. Someone casually asking me, "Hey, how is it going?" Immediate brain shut down. I'd think, what if I sound stupid? What if they don't understand me? What if I make a mistake? And guess what? That mindset kept me silent forever. I knew enough, but I didn't believe it. I remember standing in line for food and just rehearsing it in my head over and over again. "Hi, I'd like cheeseburger and fries." But when it was finally my turn, my voice came out tiny. And when the cashier asked me a following up question, I completely blanked. So many times I just smiled, nodded, and pretended I understood. I felt embarrassed. And because I didn't want to feel that again, I avoided speaking altogether. One night, we were eating at a restaurant, and I walked up to the counter to order. Easy, right? I had rehearsed my order like a speech. But then, the waiter asked me something unexpected, and my mind just went blank. I had no idea what he said. I froze and I panicked. So I just pointed at the menu and said, "This, please." I I expected him to roll his eyes or get annoyed, but instead, he smiled and said, "Oh, you are learning English. Your accent is good." And that was it. That was the moment. Everything changed. I realized something huge. Most people don't care if you make mistakes. They just want to understand you. That's it. He didn't laugh at me. He didn't judge me. He encouraged me. And that encouragement stayed with me. From that day on, I started challenging myself more. I asked small questions. I made small talking lines. I even laughed at my mistakes. And guess what? The more I spoke, the easier it got. Slowly, my confidence grew. That trip didn't turn me into a fluent speaker overnight, but it gave me something better. Courage. Courage to try, courage to fail, courage to speak. Looking back, that trip was full of magic, but the biggest transformation wasn't at Disney. It was in me. I realized that fear was holding me back more than lack of knowledge ever could. So if you are afraid to speak, remember this. Your fear is lying to you. You know more than you think. And the only way to grow is by using what you know. I wish I had spoken more. I wish I had believed in myself sooner. But I'm proud of that girl for trying. And I'm proud of you for learning today. So tell me, have you ever been scared to speak English? What's one moment you froze or one moment you were proud of yourself? Share your story in the comments. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to English Vibes TV, and share it with a friend who needs a little courage today.